What's up, everybody? It's Friday night. You know what that means, right? The bar is open. Woohoo! I'm already feeling good. I was pre-gaming a little bit. So it's good to see everybody here. We got John, Diane, Donna's in the house, times two. Melissa, JD. Oh, everyone has to say happy born on day to JD. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So I'm already on rule 5. I'm already drinking up. All right, let me get to the rules because we have to have some kind of rules for this chaotic 2 hours ahead of us. Two. 2 hours. It's always 2 hours.
I might not make it.
Mine Donna's having a little head issue
Migraine
today.
issue.
Yeah, migraine. So she might not make it through the entire show. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So rule number 1, open to just about any kind of question. Tonight's theme is more on the paranormal side. We're getting a little bit back to the paranormal. Although I did like last week when we went right off the rails and did something completely different. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was great. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to do more of that in the next coming year. So, rule number 1 is definitely you can ask whatever questions you want. And that leads into number 2 is that I don't know everything. So you can ask whatever you want. It just doesn't mean I'm going to answer it. I mean, if I don't know it, I'll try to look it up. And if that doesn't work, or if it takes too much time or too involved, then I'll write it down. I'll make a note in my handy notebook here. Oh, my 3 Tortured Souls notebook, courtesy of Tim Vickers. And I will get back to you later. Rule number 3 is, remember the Patrick Swayze rule. Be nice. That's it. This is for open discussion, for debate. You can go back and forth. That's cool, and have long discussions, and you can disagree. That's cool, as long as you keep it nice. If you get to be a dick or you start name calling, then Donna will boot your ass out. And as always, and I like this is like a trend that I'm seeing, rule number 4, because I see it in a lot of 3TS shows.
And they're using it now.
Yeah, other podcasts like I pop into. I'm a trendsetter. Oh, yeah! Number 4 is please put a Q in front of your questions for tonight. That way it makes it much easier for Donna to pick out the questions. And if she has to bail tonight, then it helps me a lot because having to deal with the chat room is a lot and distracting and all that stuff. So having the cues up there, much, much easier. And if you have a statement that has to do with what we're talking about at the time, the conversation that's going on, feel free to put an S in front of it, a capital S. And that way Donna can see it and boom, put it up on the screen. And then we get to rule number 5, which is my favorite rule. Drink up. It's Friday. We made it through the week. And I am
first question.
I am actually officially unemployed right now.
He doesn't have a job.
I don't have a job right now. I start Monday though. I start the new job Monday. So I am officially, my last day was today. That's it. I'm done. So hopefully life will get much, much happier.
Yes, please.
Because I'm a real bitch when I'm a bitch. All right. So John Kennedy's first question. So since you're running out of topics via your post, is the show in danger? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not running out of topics. I have a ton of topics to go over. But I like to see what people are interested in, like what may be popular or something that pops up that I didn't think about. There's always going to be topics. And especially with the new with trying last week with the facilitated communication topic. That was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and just getting into it was just fun. It was different from paranormal stuff. So that was the majority of that post is based on, hey, let's branch out a little bit. What other areas can we incorporate here? Because this is not the skeptical paranormal help bar. It's the skeptical help bar. So therefore, we can do whatever topics we want. And just if you're wondering, I don't know if anyone's thank you, Bobana. I like that. If anyone's wondering about the light right here that keeps going on and off, that's the flashlight trick. because one of the topics tonight is about gadgets and destroying gadgets. So that is a flashlight that's on, and I manipulated the head just to get it to that right spot, so it
Really?
turns on and off on a cycle. So we can sit here and ask us questions all day and say, "Hey, turn off if there's a ghost here." Wait, let's see, let's see.
Uh,
There must be a ghost here. Turn back on if you're a demon. Turn back on if you're a demon. Oh my god. It
wow.
must be a fucking
Hey,
demon.
you're really good at that.
I am. I am good at that. I am like a transcommunicational guy. So, Bob's got a question. Can we give you suggestions on who to reach out to for future topics, or do you want us to do that legwork? I would love for you to interview someone, but I don't know them. Either way, if you want to send me a direct message, and just say, hey, this might be a cool topic, and this is a person I would like to hear from, then I can work on trying to get that person on the show and talk to them. I don't mind reaching out to people and trying to set it up, and an email here, and direct message, or even a phone call. I don't mind doing that just to see if they'll come on and talk. So if you got an idea, feel free, shoot me a message, because I like talking to people.
I like people.
And I cannot lie. You other ones cannot lie. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be a good show. Oh, all right. So we had a couple topics, and of course we'll take questions along the way. But there were a couple topics that I wanted to get into. Oh, the princess is back to being t-shirtless. Yes, yes. Once in a while, she likes to strut her stuff. So actually, I put it on there when I do videos. When I film videos, I like to change the shirt just to make it different. Um, so you'd be like, oh, that was the episode where Leia had baby Yoda on, or she had a science t-shirt or something like that. All right, so let's see, what do we got? Oh, everybody's popping questions. Wow, okay, this is good. I like this. Do you know any biologists or zoologists through CSI who might be able to talk about cryptids and how they might or might not fit in an area in an area's food chain? That's something I have to work on. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know any, and actually, I think I might know a biologist. But this is all stuff that I have to do in the background. I have to do not on the show, but off the show in the background, and reaching out to people and see if who's interested and so forth. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. That's why tonight is the last show of the year for this show. I'm going to take off the next 2 weeks because it's the next Friday is Christmas Eve and the following Friday is New Year's Eve. So I'm not going to worry about it, and we're going to enjoy the holidays. I like that commercial that does that. Holidays instead of holidays. The holidays, because it's all the holidays. I'm going to enjoy some time at home and relax and chill, and probably be intoxicated most of the time. But that's what it is. All right. We got more questions. Any more questions? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Is it Uncle Albert? It's always Uncle Albert having sleep paralysis. Uncle Albert, microwave causing EMF readings. Uncle Albert. I'm not sure where you're going with that. It's a little confusing. I'm not sure. Is it Uncle Albert? I don't know who Uncle Albert is supposed to be.
I think he's just like pulling a name out. I think
Okay.
it was maybe when you were doing the little thing.
The little thing?
Yeah.
The little thing. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't. But it's all right. It's all cool. It's all good. When is the Divine One getting her own show? I don't know. That's up to her. That's out of my hands.
Yeah, I don't think I can do a show.
Yeah. It would take some. I mean, you can do it. You can definitely do it, but I don't know. I don't know when. That's up to her. So that's all I get. That's all I don't know. That's my answer. I love it. That's my best question. I asked a question. You did?
Who did? Jade Kitten.
Jade Kitten.
Can you find it? I'm sorry.
I'm looking. Bobana. I'm going through. Jade Kitten. Hi. I don't see a question from Jade Kitten.
So I didn't miss it.
Mm, making sure. I'm going through Jade Kitten. That's yeah, yeah. I don't see it. The only things I see from you, Jade Kitten, is a hi, and then your next one saying I asked a question. I don't see anything else, or it didn't come up. At least it didn't come up for us.
Oh, here. Mike was replying to Tiffany's comment.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what. Okay. See, that's what happens when I get involved with the chat room. I screw myself up. All right. So there's a couple things I want to go over, and let's see. There were a couple topics that people pointed out that I thought were cool, and I'm going to get into some of them. We got ghost gadgets, takedowns, which there's two gadgets that came up specifically, and I'll just get to them first. So we had the obelisk, which I have one. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's probably right in front of me. I know I had it. I had this
That's
one.
a good question. Here.
What?
What
Oh,
are you
okay.
looking for?
When are the divine? That's going to see Spidey. Oh, we're going to see Spidey soon. We tried to go see it today, but it was just there was too many. It was all sold out, so we couldn't get any tickets, and so we're not going to go see it today. I'm looking for my obelisk because I had one. Oh, I think I took it downstairs. Okay, never mind. So the obelisk, I can talk about it instead of putting it. Oh, that's Joe Downey. No wonder he's asking. I was like, oh, who's asking that? So the obelisk is a gadget, a ghost hunting gadget that people that have been using for a couple years now, and there's been several models. I have one, but it's downstairs because I actually took it apart. And just to see the inside, and I can actually show you at least the inside of it and what is in there. So let me see if I can do this and then show it to the camera. So that's when I took the screws out and opened it up. One circuit board, and you can't. I want to see if it gets clearer, but I want to show you like this over here, which looks like a big lump. That's hot glue. That's from a glue gun, and it's holding a bunch of parts in place. But that's an original one. That's the football looking one, and the the idea is that it's supposed to like ghosts are supposed to speak through it, like somehow manipulate the device through EMF and cause it to make words. And the big problem is that let me pull it up. Let me pull it up because the big problem is really a visual. Let's see, Ovilus. Ovilus. There it is. And where's the football one? There's one. Let me bring this up. Okay. So I can share this for all to see. There we go. So this thing right here, let me see if I can pull that up. So right here, it says for entertainment purposes only. And that's been on all of them as far as I know. And it's just that's what it is. It's a novelty tool. It's a novelty toy. It doesn't do anything. It's got pre-programmed words into it, and then basically spits them out at random. So it's a novelty. It's a waste of money. Honestly, it's a total waste of money. And that's really all I got to say about that.
We have Jade Kitten's question.
Did it come through?
Did.
Oh, okay. Have you read this? Thinking of asking if for Christmas, The Spectacle of Illusion, Deception, Magic, and the Paranormal. The Spectacle of Illusion. Let me see if I've. Well, we're going to look it up together. The spectacle. Am I spelling that right? Spectacle of illusion. There it is. Deception. Let's see that one. Oh, I don't have that. I have not read it. It looks really cool though. Tricks and props of magic and spiritualism. How magicians and physics fooled the world, or psychics. I'm sorry. I got to take my glasses off because it's too far away. How magicians and psychics fooled the world and what the scientists can learn from them in the spectacle of illusion. That sounds really cool. Actually, that sounds really cool, and I might actually get that. Used $16. That's not bad. Oh, $12. That's oh yeah. There you go. I'm gonna order it. There's another book to add to my pile. Oh, this is a fun thing. This might be fun for everyone. So the other gadget that people ask me about is the ghost boxes, and basically, they are broken radios. I've said it dozens and dozens of times on this show. We've picked it apart on Three Tortured Souls on Saturday nights, but the ghost box is that's pretty much it. And I have a Radio Shack hack. That's old school ghost hunting. Look at that shit. But basically, what it does is go through all the stations. It cycles through the stations. And you hear snippets of radio stations and news programs and commercials and all kinds of stuff like that. And what's really bad is that the people that believe that this device is talking to ghosts or that ghosts are talking through this device to them, answering their questions, they basically let a broken radio dictate a story to them. It creates a narrative. So they ask questions like, "How did you die?" And then whatever comes through, whether it's like if it actually said gunshot or if it just says red or chair or anything, then the story changes to fit what answer came through. I know how broken radio work. So I have one here, which is actually this is like a dual purpose for showing this one. So this is an old analog radio. People that are my age and we grew up with these kind of things, you know it when you drove in the car and you tried to dial in a radio station and you just go back and forth, or even the old boom boxes that we used to have before the whole digital thing took over and everything was precise. You had analog and you had to fine tune by moving a dial and trying to get that radio station just right. So this is an old radio, or it's not an old radio; it's actually a new radio, but it uses analog uh, broadcasting. And there was a ghost hunting gadget builder guy, and I won't say his name, JJ, that would buy these, and I got this off of Amazon, and he would buy these for like $15 to $20, and then put a little solenoid in it that would make the needle move, and then resell it for like $150. A ridiculous price, ridiculous price. But let me turn this on, and I want you guys. Wait, don't tell me. Let me maybe turn this off. Give me some EVP questions, and I'm going to go through this and just dial through, and then we're going to listen to it and see if you guys can pick up any answers. So this is a nice little experiment. So I'll do the first one until a few come up and say, "Can you tell me your name?" And I want you guys just to listen and see if you come up with any kind of names. Oh, JD's got a question, and since it's his birthday, I'll let him do the first question.
We're doing that one.
How did you die? So let's turn this on, and I'll go through. You let me know if you hear an answer. Any answers? Hopefully you guys can hear that. Fire, fire. Fire. It looks like a. All right, we have Ghost Whisperer. Fire. You had it. You got it. Definitely heard fire. Heard fire. And this is pretty cool because I'm glad we don't have all the same soccer ball. So it's pretty cool that three people, heard fire, but then other people heard different things. And that really demonstrates the interpretation that goes on with these things. So if you're listening to it and you hear fire, you're like, all right, fire, and let's say that's the dominant word. So now what would be the next question? What would you ask? Like, was there a fire here? And then you go through the same thing and listen to it, scan through the stations and listening for an answer to that specific question. So is it really communicating with ghosts? No, it's playing radio broadcasts. That's what it's doing, and we're listening for specific answers. We're listening for how someone would die. That's the kind of answer we're listening for. So fire, yeah, that would stand out among most of the other things. I heard a radio. uh but I mean, as for a communication tool, no, this doesn't work. I wouldn't use it for anything like that. It's a novelty and it's fun to play with, but I mean, you can do the same thing with the news. When you turn the TV on and you watch the local news or national news, do the same thing. Ask a bunch of questions. How did you die? I guarantee the news is going to have somehow, some way that somebody died somewhere. And that's honestly a depressing thought, but you're going to. Tim Vickers, do you want me to clear your browser? always clear the browser. That's yeah. All right. So you guys got more questions, feel free to pop them in there. I'm going to move on because that's the only 2 gadgets that I had. And there was a couple things with photography. Somebody wanted to know like do's and don'ts with photography. An EVP in the hand is worth 2 in the trash. Yeah, pretty much. I just can't believe that people still sit around and they talk to a radio and think it's talking back to them. I guess if you get a few like weird hits, if you're there at night, like on a ghost hunt, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's your name?" and you hear a name, that kind of experience, yeah, that might seem pretty cool, but how many times do we hear a name over the radio? And when you think about the news and even the breaks, when DJs between songs and they talk about what they did or who's coming to town, you're going to get names. You're going to get dates and numbers. I mean, it's amazing. People will do the same with holy books to find answers from their God. Yeah. There's passages. I mean, you go through the Bible, you can find a passage for just about anything that you can interpret in a way that will either justify or condemn any kind of action. If they don't get the right answer, then God works in mysterious ways. Yes. And I mean, you can apply that to ghost hunting. You can say, well, we did an EVP session. I asked, how did you die? But it told me Robert. It just said Robert. So I asked if that was his name, and I'm pretty sure it said yes. So therefore, it's Robert. And you're justifying a different question. You didn't find out how that person died. You found out a name, which could be anything. I mean, it's just random shit. Oh my goodness. Santa is coming to town. That's right. Santa is coming to town.
He's coming to this town.
Oh, he came all right. Oh boy. Oh, I want to announce too. I know I owe a puzzle to who do I owe a puzzle to?
Tiffany?
Tiffany? I think it's Tiffany. Yeah. I know I owe you a puzzle. I haven't gotten it out yet because this last week has been just last month, honestly, with the job and moving to the new job and all that has been hectic. But I still have your puzzle, and I'm going to give another one out today. If actually, you know what? Because if you haven't noticed, I have my remote viewing box back here, and there is a new object in there. So you guys have until the
Bob
end.
Mentioned that today, this morning.
This morning,
earlier
okay,
in the chat.
So yeah,
about
it's there.
The remote.
All right, this is getting
box.
annoying. I want to turn this off now. So yeah, there is a new object in there, and if anyone can guess it by the end of the show,
oh, this is going to be hard.
Then I will send you all 4 puzzles. So there's 4 puzzles that we have. So all 4.
If you're guessing, do a RVB, remote viewing box, before your answer so I can keep track of them, write them down, because I know this conversation is going to go everywhere.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Are we good with questions? We're good with questions. Can I buy a vowel? Oh, maybe. All right. So yeah, the rules with the box. I mean, I'm the only one that knows what's in there, and
Aren't you supposed to like shake it? Don't you
I
give
don't
them like
have to shake it, but I mean, I
you
can.
should, because if they were here, they're allowed to pick it up, right?
They're allowed to pick it up. Here you go.
All right. So listen.
There you go. So there's something definitely in there, and you just got to figure out what it is. Use your psychic powers. All right. What do we got here? I got this. Let's see. JD says, all these devices to allegedly detect ghosts. I can't believe somebody hasn't tried to create their own containment unit like in Ghostbusters. Because, well, actually, depending on your interpretation, there have been. There was, who are they? I think they call themselves the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. Because yeah, I know, I did the same thing. But they had an episode of their show, and it was like, I think it was a short-lived show, and I really think all of them should be. But they built this box of mirrors, so it was all the mirrors were directed inward, and they built this box, and it was allegedly to trap the spirit or ghost or something like that inside. I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but they apparently did it. They trapped something inside this mirror box, and then then they blew it up. Because I guess they thought they could kill the already dead ghost. I don't know. I don't know. It was the stupidest shit, and I don't use stupid often, but that was the stupidest shit I've seen in a long, long time. Holy crap, that was so bad, so bad. But that would qualify probably as your containment unit. But if we're talking more of a containment unit like Ghostbusters, where it was like a portable unit and then a larger containment unit, no, no one will come up with that first, because there's something even remotely like that would cost way too much money. Second, and probably more important, there's no way to do it. Where do you start? Because there's just no ghosts. There's there's no ghosts to speak of. We don't know where they are, what they are, if they exist at all. I haven't seen any evidence of that outside of, hey, we think there is, we believe there is, and you can't trap a belief. So I don't know where you would go with that. Although the new Ghostbusters movies was really good. The new Ghostbuster movie was so good. I loved it.
Oh, maybe we can go see that.
Oh yeah, we could probably see that. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm writing these down so you don't have to read them.
Wow. You got a lot. They're coming through. Mm-hmm. You can make more than one guess too.
Hey. You can have two guesses. I'm not writing down.
I don't. Let me see if there's the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. Tennessee Wraith Chasers. I wonder if we can find that. Trap a demon. I wonder if that video will pop up. Let's see. Haunted. Summer's Tea. Is this it? No, that's too long. I don't know. I'll have to look for it. Maybe I'll post it. I'll post it on the site, on the my Kenny Biddle site. That way you guys can see it. But it's just, oh my God, that was hilarious. And it wasn't Zach. It wasn't actually Zach that did it. It was these other guys, and it was just amazing how just it was off the wall. It reminded me of that Bigfoot show, Not Finding Bigfoot, where they just made these like elaborate traps to trap like the local legendary monster of the week, and they never caught anything, but they made these huge, like ridiculously obnoxious traps that just didn't do anything. But it looked good on TV, I guess, aside from all the guys running around the woods with shotguns and shit. All right. Let's see. Let's get this question out and move on. I'm going to see if I can find other questions or just move on. Okay, so I'm going to move on to some of the stuff that I got. Researching, people and places. That was another thing. Aaron brought that up. He was wondering if we could talk about that for a little bit. So I had a few things when I start investigating. When I start investigating a case, and it really depends on who it is. But if I'm investigating people, especially like historical people or people that have been long dead, then things like ancestry.com, I have a membership to that. So that has a lot of records that you can find, but you have to weed through them. You really have to go through them because sometimes it's like the woman that I've been trying to find, Rose Mackenberg. She was Houdini's assistant, and I keep finding new records because when they were translated, to digital format, the old records, because of the handwriting, because nobody does script anymore, or we still call it script. Is that what it's called? Handwriting. Cursive. Yeah. Because it was in cursive that the name came up instead of like Mackenberg, it was Mackenberry, Mary Berg. There were different names, but I was able to match up certain residences and stuff like that with the person that I was looking at. So you really have to be careful about that kind of stuff. I thought I put this question out. Let me see. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's see. Boom. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself here, or I'm getting distracted. So a few other things. Newspapers.com is a good place, but that also charges a yearly fee if you want to do that. Ancestry is kind of expensive, but it's worth it if you research a lot. So newspapers.com also comes with like one of the tiers of Ancestry, but you can go separate and get that. But you can find obituaries in there, the original ones from different papers, which is really good especially when you're like researching things like the Conjuring House, and you're trying to make sure that people understand that all the people that are associated with that house and died in that house did not actually die in that house. And you had the original obituaries to show otherwise. Truthfinder.com and checkmate.com. These are background checks. When you're researching people, this is something you have to be careful with, but when you're researching people, you can find like addresses, phone numbers, past addresses. You can find a lot of stuff, but you have to understand that the fine print with these, because they're not, you can't use them for like evil purposes. I guess that's the best way to put it. There's disclaimers every time you sign in where you have to Mountain Monsters. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. That was the show that built all the traps that did nothing. Yeah, so when you're researching people on the background check sites that you also have to subscribe to, then it's they have a disclaimer up saying you can't use this, for like tracking down for like any other reason except personal reasons or something like that. Like you can't track down someone you suspect of a crime and then go hunt them down, because that's bad. I use it usually to find people or find residences or search by residents, to see who had lived in that house beforehand, and it verifies whether somebody did live in that house, which is a pretty good research tactic. JD Sword, Amazon and Google book reviews are your friend. If you can find a keyword to search for, you can find a specific passage on a specific page in a specific book. Yep. Yes, you can. I've used that a lot. I use that especially when I did when I was working on the article about Zach Baggins plagiarism. Mr. Baggins and Mr. Taylor plagiarism there. I was able to do that using Google Scholar because I was going through and finding the passages of different books, various books that they pulled from. So that is really good. Google is your starting point. Honestly, if you're not going on location and you're sitting here and you're going, hey, you know what, I need to start researching this or looking into this, Google is your friend. That's step one. How do you find info for owner history of a house? So you can do old school way was a title search, but you couldn't always do that yourself. It was expensive. um,
You can just go to the county.
you can go to county and the county clerk and talk
Yeah.
to them. But you can also, like with the various background check sites, you can search by address and get an address report. And that will give you, that lists all the previous owners, the dates that they own the house. And then you can go into more specific details about like how much was paid.
It too
Um,
says tax records at
tax
the
records,
courthouse.
courthouse. Yes, that's also a good way to do it. Um, but basically, I mean, nowadays it's so easy. Well, not just easy because it costs a little bit of money to be easy. Um, that sounded right. Or sounded wrong. It costs a little bit to be easy. You know, a bottle of rum and hey. Anyway, so but if you go to a background checking site and you can search by addresses, you can get all of that information. That information is available for the most part. It doesn't always happen, but I think for the last 3-4 years that I've used it, every location that I've looked up, I was able to find the full history of the house, which is really helpful. I mean, it really is helpful. When I was doing the search for the Bela Lugosi mirror and trying to trace back where certain people lived, and if Bela Lugosi owned a house that another person owned and they ever crossed paths or something like that, I was able to determine no, they didn't, um, which kind of broke the case. Uh, so, all right, Adrian, hey, how you doing? Web archive, the way back machine is great too. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of books you can take out for an hour at a time. You can do name search or word search for books and articles. These are great points. You guys are doing great. I love this. That you guys are throwing tips in here about researching. But yeah, the Wayback Machine, I use that all the time. Actually, that's a good tip. And every time I go to a website, whether it's like a personal blog or a company site or whatever, and it has information that I use that I need, that I use for one of my articles or investigations or whatever, I immediately archive that on the Wayback Machine, because I've had it where as soon as my article came out, the website disappeared. And it was because there was incriminating information on that website. And so they erase it, and it's like, oh shit, you know, I should have done that. So that's been standard procedure now, that I archive it just so I can find it later. And that really helps, especially when I did the Blackwell Ghost um story or investigation. And there was, the way I found out that Turner Clay, who was the guy that made those films, was the guy like behind it all, was that he left a comment on a YouTube video and said his name. So I had his YouTube username and then his name together, and luckily I screen capped that, so I had it. But as soon as the article came out, all that was deleted. Like every comment that he ever made on everything, just delete it. So yeah, always back up your shit. Let's see.
There is a question up
Okay,
here from
cool.
Steve.
Steve White, what's up? Good evening from haunted Oklahoma. Just curious, has any of your family members or friends ever had a paranormal experience that could not be explained due to normal conditions? Donna?
Do we have any paranormal experiences that what?
Cannot be explained due to normal conditions.
Normal conditions. I don't know. I think there's a lot of crap that goes on in this house personally that I can't account for. But
sometimes it's hard to do what you're asking there.
Yeah,
because
well, for example, like in our house, this house was built in the 20s. It's You know, so it's old, 1920. I gotta be
1920s.
specific
Wow,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I gotta be more
Oh my
specific.
God, we're old.
So this was in the 1920s. So it's an older house. I mean, you walk around, every floor creaks, you know, no big deal. But when, you know, you're getting a shower in the bathroom in the morning, this happens a lot with me anyway. Like after I turn the water off, you know, like so you can actually hear what's going on. Sometimes I hear a knocking on the door. Not the bathroom door. No, not the bathroom door. We have an attic door
Mhm.
straight across
Yeah.
from the bathroom door. And sometimes it sounds like there's a knocking coming from there. But I mean, you have to take into account it's an old house. We do have airflow up in the attic. Could that be making the door, you know, just, you know, shudder back and forth? Yeah, it
Right.
could. But
Right.
it's just odd that it happens almost at that time all the time.
So, like getting into that, it might be because of the taking a hot shower.
I don't
Your
know.
the air pressure, because you heat up the air in the surrounding area. So, and then once you turn the shower off, now it starts dropping again, coming
I
back
know.
to room temperature. So it
Yeah,
might
but
be.
there's still a door that's closed. Like the bathroom door is closed and the attic door is closed. So it's not like I hear it after I open the bathroom door. Like I hear it
Right. It
while
wouldn't
I'm in the
matter. No,
bathroom.
it wouldn't matter because it's still there's still airflow going around the door, um, and under the door. So it's possible, but I don't know because I'm not here when you're doing that. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I never hear it though. Like,
You've
I mean,
never
I
heard
take and
that,
I
but
take hot showers.
well, I don't think it has anything to do with hot or cold shower.
But I don't ever hear something like that, or maybe I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or you have to get your hearing checked because
Here we go.
yeah.
No,
He can't hear, guys.
I can hear.
No, he can't.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
can
can't.
hear. You just mumble.
No, I don't
You
mumble.
just don't
Guys, do
say
I
anything.
mumble? Do I mumble?
Mama, mama, mama,
No.
mama, mama,
I do
mama,
not
mama, mama.
mumble.
All right, it's ghosties. That's right. All right, so
What's ghosties?
on to ghosties. It's ghosties. Family members or friends. So I mean, I have lots of friends that are ghost hunters and believers and stuff. So I mean, they're always talking. There's plenty in the chat room too that have had experiences that they believe are paranormal. So I don't, I can't attest to all of them. I can't say, you know, one way or another. I can offer suggestions. I can offer, I can speculate about them, but whether they're it's hard to track the normal conditions because you can't always get all the details and you don't know um, what is normal in that house. Every house is different. Any kind of environmental conditions or like that. I mean, you're taking a hot shower. Yeah, the hot shower is going to make a difference because the hot air is going to expand the pressure in the house um, just by a little bit, but you're going to have airflow going back and forth. So I don't know. I don't know. That was a good question, though.
Yeah,
That was a good question.
I like it.
What else? I know Aaron, Aaron asked if I could post a
Aaron.
list of
Yeah, I saw
sites
that.
that I
Yeah.
use frequently. I'm gonna have to put that together.
I thought you have one in one of your presentations. You have a slide that
Oh,
has
I
all that
do.
information
You know
on it.
what? Let me shit. Let me bring that up because I
Yeah, his
think.
memory's going too, guys. So there's an example
Oh
right
my
there.
god! Don't you have a migraine? Don't you have a go?
Yeah, I do have a migraine.
Let me see. Let me see. Where's my? Because if I can bring that up, that's a good slide.
I know.
It's a really good. Oh, let me just bring up PowerPoint and see what happens when that opens. Skeptical approach. I think that's it. Let me see what that is. Bum bum bum. Do 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 do. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. No. So I modified my
You took it out?
my presentation a bunch of times
But
because
you usually leave that in.
yeah, I gotta find the right one. That's all. Because I was doing the course with
You switched them
I
around.
switched it around a lot. So this actually might be it. Hold on. I think this is the full one. Because I have so many freaking presentations. That's one. That doesn't have all of them though. But that I can at least show that a little bit. So let me see. Oh, that's not the link that I want. No, get out. I'm so screwed up. Why am I screwed up today?
I don't know. Maybe you started drinking a little early.
I did. Oh, whoa.
What?
What the hell's going on there? All right, let me take this off so you guys can see. So this is one of my slides for one of my presentations that I do. And you can see like this is basically telling people to Google it. And these are some of the sites that I use. This is a few. I've actually like almost doubled what this is on this slide since then. But some of these like Ancestry, we talked about, Copyskate, that is a good that's a good site for plagiarism, for inserting a whole bunch of text and seeing if it's been copied or from other sources. And it actually gives you the sources. LinkedIn, I go on business sites, that's looking up people. Instagram, because it's social media. Social media is, and I think it actually says it here. There it is. People post about friends, family, a whole bunch of stuff. Most people don't realize how public they are. That they're not private. That there is a lot of information out there. And if you have someone that is really into looking for you, or looking like about you, you really don't have any idea how public you are.
Do a search on yourself.
And Kenny set off my Google speaker again. Hey Google, play some 80s music. Let me know if that works.
Wrong.
Oh, mine's going on. Let me see. There we go. Oh, copyright strike. That'll teach me. But yeah, you have to be careful because I saw the comment. That's awesome. So like I've done this stuff, and I think I've talked with JD a little bit, and then he's seen it because we've actually started watching Bob Larson. So if anybody knows Bob Larson, Exorcist, we've started watching some of his videos. And the other night we watched one, and we were just going to town on the background, like looking at the background, signs, people's dress, the t-shirts they wear, any kind of sayings, or like local businesses or something like that, just going crazy looking at all the little details in the background. That's why, I mean, social media is it's great, but it's also it's a window into your life where you might not want so many people seeing through that window. There's a lot of information you can get from social media. What else is on here? Netter online, that's real estate. That's another site that I used to use for real estate, or addresses, doing searches to see who lived in a house and how many years ago and all that stuff. So these are all good. Google Images, if you don't know, you can actually upload a picture to Google and it'll do a search looking for any pictures that are like that one. Most of the time you don't get shit. You don't get anything that's like near, it might get the same color. Like if there's a lot of red in your photo, you'll get a lot of pictures with a lot of red.
Oh, God knows what that'll do to your browser and email
but
and bullshit.
Yeah, always clear the browser. But yeah, it's I've used it a few times and it's come up with pretty close. I used it when I was doing the screaming ghost, the screaming hotel ghost video. If you ever saw that, it's YouTube. It's like a viral video. It's the security guard that is checking out a room because there's the other hotel guests said there was a screaming person in there, and he's outside the room and you hear screaming, and he goes in, and apparently there's no one there, and there's a really shitty CGI ghost that comes out of the room. But that's also Turner Clay, the guy that did the Blackwell Ghost. But I used Google Images to search for the hotel that he filmed at, and was able to find that hotel because of that. So really good resource. And so that's a list so far, and I'll try and get another, like a full list together. There, I hate being naked. I'll try to get a bigger list together, and because I never really did that. I just, I have them either in my favorites or in my head. Like, I know where to go, and I just go. Like, as soon as I sit down, it's within 5 minutes. I have like 27,000 tabs open on my browsers, and I'm just looking at all kinds of different things. So, stuff. What is this statement? I share a Spotify account with John, and he didn't realize I could control what he was listening to from my house. And I kept pausing his songs. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I would kick your ass. That would piss me off so bad if Kenny did something like that.
That's cool. I like that. But that's the kind of stuff you have to realize. Like, I mean, stop and think. That's actually a really good example because you share an account, and maybe you're at home and you're at a different home, and you're listening to music on a device, and all of a sudden it stops, and it starts, and it stops, and starts, and it could, if you let it get to you, you can freak out.
I would freak the fuck out.
Oh, can I tell the remote control story?
Yeah, go ahead. If he ever does this to me again, it's grounds for divorce. This was years ago. Okay, now when I say years ago, I don't even think we were married.
We weren't married.
So
we almost weren't.
Yeah.
All right, so I would,
like, years ago, meaning
years,
like at least 26, 27 years ago.
That's
when, I mean, we've almost been married 25 years.
Because we got married in 97. So it was before that. Probably like 1 or 2 years before that. So yeah, like 95, 96. So her brother brought over, for some reason, he brought over a cable remote.
An extra remote.
It was an extra remote that was broken because the power button was stuck. So as long as it had batteries in it, the power button was always activated. So you just pointed it at the cable box and it would turn it off or on. And he dropped it off at your house. I don't know why. I have no idea why. And I was there. So I took it. I was like, all right, cool. I'll take it. And I think it was one account, and we were going to just return it and get a new one. So I got it, and I didn't say anything to her. And I was like, oh, light bulb went on and the evil horns came out, and I was like, I have an idea. And I shoved it under the couch cushions so that if I sat on the couch in a certain way, I could like back my leg up into the cushion. And then if I lifted it up a little bit or leaned like this, it would lift the cushion up just enough that the remote would be exposed and it would turn the key.
That's what he was.
So it started when I was watching TV, and I was like, oh, cool. And boop, TV goes out. And it was like, oh, what's going on? I don't know. She turns it back on with the real remote, and then waiting, and boop, it goes out. And then I think I was doing it where like you got up to look, and as soon as you got up and walked towards it, it came back on. And you're like,
did it so many fucking times.
What the hell?
I was getting pissed off.
You were getting freaked out.
I was freaked out. Yeah,
to the point where she picked the phone up.
Yeah.
And dialed 911.
No, I was going to. I didn't dial it.
You were going to. I'm calling the police.
I'm calling the police.
And I'm like,
fuck?
No, it's me. I don't want to. Oh my God, I can't explain that to the cops.
Yeah, I'm fucking around with my girlfriend.
What are you doing? Yeah, I'm just fucking around.
So now this was way before, like, the ghosts. This was before the ghost teams got together and all this stuff and crap that's going on now. So this was
before, like, we were ghost hunters too.
Yeah, this was.
So it was all. I mean,
me the fuck out.
I always had an interest in this, always. So I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. But she did not.
No, and he will not do that again.
No, he won't do that again. I'll push the limits a different way. I'll cross that line when I get to it. But it was an awesome story. But it's a great example of showing, like, you can easily freak out if you don't stop and say, all right, I need to look at this. I need to figure out what's going on. It's really easy to lose sight, lose logic, and freak out. And it's understandable because you don't know what's going on. It wasn't something we were used to. She had no idea I had an extra remote.
Yeah,
So
it was like,
there was missing information. And when you don't have all the information, yeah, you could freak out.
I was freaking out.
And
then when he showed it to me, oh, he's lucky he's alive now. So lucky. Look what I did for you, peeps, because he wouldn't be here and you guys wouldn't be here right now if I didn't walk away that time and not kill him.
I'd be here. She wouldn't. I'd be by myself. Bob, I was changing the TV channel in my house via my phone before my wife realized that it was a thing, and she was freaking out. She thought it was the kids with the other remote, but it kept happening when she had both remotes. It was amazing. See, everybody does it.
Not fucking funny.
No, it's hilarious. It's great.
Did she kick your ass, Bob?
Oh my
when
gosh,
she found out
it's
it
so
was you?
awesome, so awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
It's break time.
It's break time. All right, so
Before it's a good time to break.
It's a good time. Everyone got to pee.
Well, there's one question here from Tiffany.
Is this why Divine Donna became a ghost hunter?
No, unfortunately, it's not. He just dragged me along.
I don't know if that's exactly how it happened.
Along the ghost hunting road with Kenny.
I think it was more of you spend too much time on this hobby. Maybe I'll just go along. I think that's more. I don't think I dragged you. Silence. Break time.
That's because honestly, I was just thinking. I'm trying to think. I remember going to when we went to Lou and Sharon's for the first time, and I remember not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "These people could be crazy," and you're like, "It'll be all right. It'll be all right."
You didn't go though the first time.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think so. I think I went alone the first time, and then reported back to you. It said, "All right,
okay,
yeah. So they're all right. They're not crazy. I'm still alive."
yeah, I'm not
Made it out. All right, let's everybody go pee, go fill up. I gotta fill up. I'm drinking slow, but I made it strong. So yeah, shots fired. All right, we're gonna take our break. When we come back, I'm going to get into a little bit more of the researching people and places. And then I also want to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of photography when it comes to like investigating and stuff. So that was the other major topic. So let's see. Brand, go to my video and the commercial. I will see you all in 2 minutes and 22 seconds from now. Yoga pants, tote bags, the fanny packs I know you guys love, masks and pillows, all with science and skepticism as the theme. I even have hoodies for your pets. That's right, your dog or cat can wear one of these things. I also have a general store that sells more inspirational quotes or, drinking stuff because I like that kind of thing. I also have a store set up for our Three Tortured Souls podcast, which we do Saturday nights. You can find shirts and Tim Vicker's favorite drinking vessel, the mug. I also have a store tailored a little bit more towards my ghost hunting friends, Paranormal by I Am Kenny Biddle. These are shirts and quotes that are a little bit more on the ghost hunting side, especially this one, Translucent Perished Beings. Ghost. That's my favorite. So if you're interested, head on over to teespring.com/stores/scientific skepticism by IAKB and check it out. Thanks.
Are you tortured by what you see and hear about the paranormal field? Join us as we critically examine and question paranormal claims, science, ghosts, demons, cryptids, UFOs, ghost hunting technology, and much more are all on the table for discussion. Three Tortured Souls is a video podcast that streams live on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 Pacific. Three Tortured Souls.
All right. We are back. I see John without an H has joined us. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. What have I missed? You missed the time Kenny was almost murdered by Donna. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That's
about
good.
right.
I love it. All right. Few things I want to go over real quick. I want to show you there was something came up with the gadgets, and these are tri-field meters. These are both kinds. There's two different kinds. One is like natural EMF, which it actually says natural EMF, and then the other one is for not natural EMF. But these are both used by ghost hunting groups and TV shows. And the reason they are used is because one, they're expensive, so it looks really cool on TV, and two, they read all three axes at the same time. But the kicker is that number three is that they're not affected by two-way radios. That's what I've heard. That's what I've been told several times by people on TV, doing the TV ghost hunting things, that these do not get affected by two-way radios. And I did a video. I was debunking one of Baggins' thing, his demon haunted or demon house mockumentary, and he had one of these, and I think he said something like that he couldn't. There's nothing in the house that could possibly affect it. There was other ghost hunting shows that did it. So what I wanted to show was that you really can.
You have to put it up higher.
No, well, I'm doing it without.
Oh, okay.
The needles are going. You can see them. I want to make sure you guys can see them, and that's because I have the radio going. You probably could hear it. But now, let's see. I'm still arm's length away. It's still getting them to move. But I want you to understand that you can do that just in case you ever see it on TV. I was able to do this. We did a video where I had one of these on the floor. And I was downstairs in the basement and calling up to you, and you were like, "Yep, it's moving." Every time I moved around the walkie-talkie. So just in case you guys ever see that on TV, or you're at a conference or something, and they tell you, "Yeah, that can't happen."
Don't be fooled.
Don't be fooled.
And it could probably happen with your cell phone too.
I don't know about that. You'd have to be pretty close.
Yeah.
Even with the regular, like the shitty K2 things, you have to be within like 6 inches or something like that for it to really
you
work.
Had, like a chest pocket, and you had your phone in your pocket.
Well, yeah, if there's any nerds out there that do that, yeah, I can see it happen.
Like
but it still has
pocket,
to be within 6 inches. You're talking only about like that. You have to be holding it. It could happen, yeah. All right. Let's see. All right, moving on. I got some other things with the research stuff. We did ancestry, newspapers, background checks, old books and magazines. Oh, I just got. Oh man, where is it? I think I took it. Yeah, I think I took it down in the basement.
Oh, do I have to go get it?
Yeah, can you go get it? No, you don't have
Where
to.
is it?
I got it's. I don't remember.
Okay.
I should have gotten it on the break. But last week on 3TS, we did a show about Amityville, and we were talking about the Amityville horror, the case, a little bit about the murders, and a little bit about the investigation afterwards with the alleged hauntings, the hoax. And one of the items that I brought up was that there was a People magazine in 1979.
8.
9. I think it was 9.
No, I think it was 8. Now I'm gonna freaking go get it.
Okay, go get it. Where the lawyer that was the original lawyer for not George. Well, he was the lawyer for George Lutz, but he was also for the DeFeo, Ronnie DeFeo, the guy that killed his whole family in the house. He was the original lawyer for him, and then he was a lawyer for George Lutz initially. He is interviewed in this People magazine article and admits freely that they made it all up. They made the entire story up over a couple bottles of wine, and I actually put the screenshot on the show, and then I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm ordering this." So I actually ordered one, and I have the original copy, which is cool. I love that kind of stuff. But that's a good resource when you're researching, because you get to see the actual print of it. You get to see the wording of it instead of just relying on someone saying, "Oh yeah, it was in this book," or relying on someone else's article. You can go back to the original source and actually see what was in there. So magazines and books, really good sources. That's why I buy all these books. That's why I have so many books. I'll try not to show Donna because she doesn't want to be on camera, but
Okay.
all these books, a lot of them. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
They are not all just for me to read. They are for me to check the references and see if there's any other information within that chapter or somewhere else in the book that pertains to what I'm working on. So also a good thing. Let's see, the Center for Inquiry. Oh, that's, yeah, Center for Inquiry. Center for Inquiry. That's what that CFI stands for. So they put out the Skeptical Inquiry magazine that I write for, that JD also writes for. And I have fun. They're good people. I like them. All right. I see Donna. Yep. She's hiding in the side. All right.
I love purple too.
Purple, purple, purple. What else we got? Google satellite images. That's also good. Street View. I use that a lot, looking up addresses. Actually, we used it because JD and I were supposed to investigate a house together a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, his son got COVID, so he couldn't go. But one of the things that I did was, because some of the claims were about noises, like specific noises around the house, I did a Google satellite image and looked at the area around it, looked at the neighborhood, the street, and just looking to see what was near it. And I found like the house was actually backed up against a parking lot for a restaurant, like the main restaurant in the area. So it was a big parking lot. And there was also an apartment building next to that. Lots of cases for noises and voices to be heard, because the back door of the house was approximately 12 feet from the parking lot. So real easy to have voices come through like that. What's this? I used Street View on the article I wrote for the Katharine Hepburn haunted house. I proved that the house in question was not actually owned by Katharine Hepburn. It was a house next door. Awesome. See, like that. These are little things. Little things. I mean, that's probably why I haven't put together like an actual list of resources, because there's so many different directions you can go when you're investigating a case or a person. You know, when you're looking at a person, you can find like criminal records, you can find financial records, you can find residences, and then you start digging. Don't go, just don't rely on the first page of Google results or the returns that come back. Keep going. Like I usually click to like page 18, 19, 20, just to see what kind of links come up, because you never know, you might get that little nugget, that little news article that they appeared in for some like local party or celebration or something, and you get an extra picture that you didn't realize you had. Really cool stuff. Oh, if you're writing about a certain place, you can call, sometimes you can call police and fire departments and talk to somebody there that maybe worked on a case. I did it with a psychic that claimed to have solved the murder mystery. I actually talked to the detective that's in charge of the cold case, because the psychic didn't solve the mystery because it was still going. It was an ongoing case. It still is. It's a cold case, but it's still a case, an open case.
Chewy's here, guys.
And I was able to talk about or ask questions. He could verify certain things, but not everything, which is understandable. But he could verify that the psychic that I was investigating had nothing at all to do with the case. So that was beneficial, really beneficial. And this is two points before I get to I see a question up there, but 2 points before I get to this. These are important. If you're investigating someone, if you're writing about someone, and whether it's an article for a magazine, a video for a YouTube channel, or a big production, or even just a blog, one, don't always reach out to the person. If you're writing about a specific person, reach out to them and give them a chance to tell their story or have their say, because especially if it's an article that kind of rips them apart, you want to say, look, I've looked into this case and what you were involved in and what you said. Can I verify that you said this? Or, do you have anything to add to this? Do you have any explanations? It's really good to get their perspective. And with every case that I've worked on, I've always reached out to the person I'm writing about. Whether they reach back out or respond, that's up to them. People like, Baggins never responds to me, never. But I still reach out to him. I still try. And usually he blocks me on that platform, and then I have to find another platform in order to reach out to him. But I still try. And that's the point. I think that's good journalism. That's ethical and honest journalism when you reach out to get their point of view, because maybe you did get something wrong, or maybe it was misperceived or I don't know, misperceived, the word that I'm looking for. I don't know. Maybe misrepresented. Thank you. That's it. Maybe the media just misrepresented them, and there's more to the story. And especially if they have information or documentation that can back that up. I mean, that's awesome. That's something that's really great, because then you can put that forth and say, well, nobody printed this before. And you can, don't brag that you're the first, but you can totally revel in that. The second thing is never deceive people. Don't deceive people. When I reach out to someone specifically, I tell them what I'm doing. Like, I'm writing an article. This is where I'm writing from. I write for this magazine. I'm investigating this case. And hey, I'm reaching out to you because I want to get your side of the story. Don't make up a story. Don't pretend to be something you're not and deceive them, because then that's dishonest and that makes you look bad. You don't want to do that. Now, there's also a difference between not offering information and deliberately misleading someone. So if you tell someone like you're going to write a positive review and that's why you want to attend their event, and you go there and then you rip them apart, you weren't being honest. But if you just show up to an event and sit quietly in the corner and observe and write down, take notes, and then you write out your review of the place, you're not deceiving anyone. You were just there. And that's important, because you don't want to come off as someone that just lies or makes up stories, because that's you'll get a reputation. You really really
will.
Wow.
You really will.
And this was a strong drink. I did pretty good.
I didn't make it tonight, guys. This was not my fault.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. All right. So with that, questions. Let's see.
There's one up here. Hold on.
Okay. I'm waiting. John Kennedy, have you thought about doing a show on the ghosts caught on Google Earth? Oh, I've seen some of them. And I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I've seen where like images are meshed together or are blended together, where part of people are gone, like upper, lower, or one half of their body is just gone, missing. But otherwise, I mean, it would be fun, but I guess that's like it just seems so obvious to me. And maybe that's because I'm on Google Earth a lot.
He lives on it.
I'm always looking up everywhere, and like
stalker genes.
Yeah. I mean, I look up every address that I'm researching. I look at the area, and I do drive-bys. I virtually drive up and down the block, around the neighborhood, to see what's there. So I'm constantly seeing these photographic anomalies, where people are like half disappear, they're half invisible, which is really freaky. But then if you look in the background, you see like, all right, this is two different pictures stitched together. This is like from years ago, and this is current, and it's stitched. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to help out and do a project together like that, where you find me like the top 10, and we'll go through them all, and we can make a little video of them, and that would be fun. That would be something to do.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be interested. All right, cool. Anything else? What do we got here? Oh, I like this. It's obvious to you and to some of us in some cases, but it would be interesting lesson on photographic anomaly. I agree. Yeah. So yeah, that would be something that would be fun to do. Because we do see it a lot. And sometimes it creeps up. That show, that really, really cheesy show, Paranormal Caught on Camera,
Oh yeah.
I think, which I did. All right, cool, John. Cool. I did a review of the first episode of that for AIPT website, and it was ridiculous. I edited out some of the stuff because I was like, this is just ridiculous. It was like the producer just went onto YouTube and typed in strange shit, and whatever results came up, that's what he's like, oh, well, let's just, pay them like $200 that we can put their video on our show,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have a whole panel of experts that are not experts. When you see some of them, a parapsychologist, you guys know who I mean, that's not a parapsychologist, that giving expert advice on some of this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's like I've seen all these videos on YouTube. Why do I have to watch this show? I've seen these a dozen times. So I really don't know where I was going with that. But next question. Mike Roll. Roll? Odd question. Because we're all about evidence here, but how do you personally feel about the paranormal, Kenny? I feel like we're friends. I mean, just that I feel like we're friends now. Do you believe in it, but you're looking for concrete proof, or are you a skeptic who doesn't believe? Just curious. Well, let me clarify. Having a skeptical approach or a skeptical attitude simply means you have doubt. Being a skeptic just doesn't mean you don't believe anything. It means at the basic level that you have doubt about some kind of claim. And it doesn't have to be paranormal. It could be anything. When you see the commercial with the guy with the flex tape, and when he puts it on the pipe that's already leaking, like, that's pretty cool. I'd like to see that myself, before I buy that. I want to see it myself because you're skeptical, cool. Because you have some doubts, because it's pretty cool. But with this, with this, the paranormal, and I've said this before, so I don't mean any offense to you, but the paranormal is a blanket term. It means a whole bunch of shit. From weird things moving by themselves, or telepathy, or ghosts, people seeing ghosts, or out of body experiences. So it's a wide range of topics. I don't have a belief, because that's another offshoot. That's another side tangent. I just don't have beliefs, but I don't think the paranormal exists, as in ghosts exist. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for evidence of that, because I would love to be proven wrong, because basically my thought process now is, no, it doesn't exist. I don't think ESP exists. I don't think aliens have visited our planet thousands of years ago, although I do think there's life out there somewhere. Don't get me wrong on that one. I don't think there's a Bigfoot. I think a lot of these things are based on belief and encouraged and continue to evolve and are sustained because of belief only. That's it. But I'm willing to look at more evidence. I'm look at more data, or look at what somebody wants to present me. I'm willing to do that. And if we can't figure it out, then let's go to the next step. What that next step is, I don't know. Depends on the situation. Paranormal, simply not normal. So, I mean, let's look up a definition. Let's do that, because we have the power. Anyone watch the He-Man series on Netflix? I loved it. I watched both seasons. I really loved it. So let's see. What was that? What's the word I'm looking for? Paranormal. Paranormal definition. What do we got here? Oh, and it says dictionary.com says denoting events or phenomena such as telekinesis or clairvoyance that are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. Wow. Another one says paranormal events are purported phenomenon because, or described in popular culture, folk, and other non-scientific bodies of knowledge whose existence within these contexts it describes as beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. So yeah, I guess he's pretty much. Oh, I'm so far behind. I did just Google it, Barry. But yeah, I mean, it's not. It goes. It's. I don't think you can really say it's just not normal because I'm not normal.
What is normal?
What is normal? Yeah, I mean, normal is pretty subjective. I think it's better that it's something that's allegedly beyond the scientific understanding. I think that's the better definition. That paranormal is something that is allegedly beyond scientific understanding. And sorry, bro, I already called dibs. Oh,
That's on something else.
what?
You're in a different thing going on. You're
Yeah,
just reading it.
I know. All right, let's move on. Paranoid, not Noid. The Noid from ain't that Pizza Hut or Domino's? That's Domino's. The Noid.
I think.
Avoid the Noid. Hopefully that's not copyright. All right. Now let me get into. Let me see. Do I have everything with the research that I had notes for? Because I put down. Do not. Yeah, differences here and there.
Normal is a setting on the dryer. None of us are normal. Here's another one.
Normal is just an average of the bell curve of the population. Ooh. Well, yeah, I guess that's a pretty good idea of what normal is. You know, it's what the general consensus is.
What is the general consensus?
Well,
On
I guess.
normal.
Oh,
I
this is
wouldn't
going to be
consider
another
you normal, and
philosophical.
I wouldn't consider me normal.
And see, like, do you consider yourself normal?
Oh, I just said I don't.
You don't consider yourself normal.
Like, yeah.
Based on based
on
on what?
I don't know.
You know, like
am I
what?
normal?
What are you comparing yourself to say that
know.
you're not normal? I don't know. Oh, we're getting into another philosophical debate here. 3-hour show.
I'm out soon, guys.
Oh
you
my
might
god.
want to go back to the box before I leave.
All right.
Answers.
So let's get into some photography.
Oh.
Little photography. Got one camera here. This is my this is my normal camera. And then this is my infrared camera that I converted. And I used recently because of the I was doing pictures excuse me, because of the Amityville case, the Demon Boy pictures were taken in with the infrared. So I converted. Well, I had my own converted. Hey, Susan Gerbick's here. Oh, you're not normal at all, bitch.
Susan. Wait, if Susan is normal, well, let's go with that. If Susan is normal, where do you fall on the scale?
What's a normal camera, John Michael without an H? So my normal camera, normal for me, this is one that I normally use. So meaning that I use it most of the time. This is a standard Nikon. It's a SLR camera, non-modified. That's it. It's out of the box. Well, with my own lens on it, but it's got the IR filter, the cut filter on the lens or on the sensor still. So it takes pictures as you would expect it would. The infrared converted one, I took the IR cut filter off of it, out of it. So there's a little piece of glass that goes on the sensor. I don't know if I can show you. Let me see. Nope, because the shutter's down. So there's the sensor, digital sensor in there. It's got what's called an IR cut filter, and that removes or blocks a lot of the infrared light coming in, so that you don't get a false color image. And by that, since we're on this normal, what is normal topic, a false image, a false color image to us would be something that doesn't look like what we see it to be. So there's a lot more infrared light in the environment. We can't perceive that. Our eyes can't perceive that. We don't perceive infrared light, but the camera sensors do up to a certain wavelength. So if you take a picture with is this got batteries in it? Oh, maybe I can show you. Oh no, memory card's not in it. It's gonna, if you take a picture with the modified camera, it looks different than the normal camera because the colors are all messed up because there's infrared light influencing how the colors look. So it's definitely going to look different. So when you're taking pictures, if you're in a setting where you're taking pictures and you're on a ghost hunt or a Bigfoot hunt or something like that, there are some do's and don'ts that I'm going to go down real quick because we're at an hour and a half. And I want you guys to ask questions if you have them. So do keep the flash on. I do not like when people turn the flash off during ghost hunts because they turn all the lights off. It's very dark and they start taking pictures and don't realize that the camera will keep the shutter open for a long period of time, giving you what's called a long exposure or a slow shutter. And this will cause images to be blurry. These will cause lights that are in the scene to streak across the image. If someone is walking across the scene during this, they will appear transparent. They might leave a streak themselves, or if they're standing still and then move during the when the picture is being taken in the dark without a flash, then they will appear to be a transparent figure that's standing there in your scene. So ghost. Lots of things wrong with that. So I always encourage people, put the flash on. Only flash with consent. Oh, Tiffany. Yeah. I also advise to take 3 or 4 shots without moving. So basically, if you're standing here like this and you have your camera and you turn it on, yeah, and you focus, you take pictures and you take a bunch. 1, 2, memory card cannot be used. What?
You suck.
It doesn't like my memory card. I don't know why.
Maybe it's
Let me see.
corrupt.
We'll try again. Well, the batteries are starting to. There we go. So 4 pictures right there, barely moved. That way you can compare them. If you've caught a reflection in a window, if you've caught a flash reflection, well, I mean, you should have the flash on. So if you did catch the flash reflect, oh my god! If you caught the flash reflection in some kind of reflective surface, be it glass or brass or mirrors, whatever, then
Chrome.
your 4 pictures should have the same or similar anomalies in them. You're drunk, Kenny. That's why. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's been a long few weeks. It's well deserved today. So
yeah, those are coming. You definitely want to take 3 or 4 pictures all the time. Don't just take one and then walk away. It really bugs me when I see like a ghost hunter, and I'm totally stereotyping them, but when I see a ghost hunter go into a room and basically like hold their camera up and go click and then walk away. They didn't even pay attention to the background, the details, nothing. They have no fucking clue what is going on in the scene that they just photographed. But chances are, hours or days or weeks later, they're going to look at the picture and go, "Oh, look, I got a ghost." And they're going to post it on their Facebook page and say, "Hey, look, we got a ghost. No one else was in the room." I've seen that many, 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 many times, and it irks the shit out of me. Your slur is a bit pronounced, good sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was well aware of that.
He's worked on it
I'm
for a few hours now, so he's good.
All right. What else we got? Don't put a fucking red circle around your ghost. Don't do it. Just don't. I hate when people put the red circle of death around what they believe is a ghost or a Bigfoot or some kind of alien or something like that. Just don't do it, because that's almost an automatic red flag that it's not. You should always present a photograph as the original image. Like, don't crop it. That's another thing on my list. Don't crop it and save it and then send that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that where it's like you get a picture like this screen that you're seeing here is pretty much almost the aspect ratio that I get with most of my cameras. So if all of a sudden, like, we brought the sides in to here, you know, where it's not exactly a square, but it's just a little bit, it's an odd shape, and you post that on your social media and say, look, you know, I got an anomaly. I got some kind of ghostly thing here in the corner. You're not showing the entire picture. And that bugs me because now you're manipulating the data and you're putting it out there and not telling anyone that you manipulated the data. And that's dishonest. That's really dishonest. So
Yeah,
don't
be dishonest.
don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't.
And don't put a red circle around it.
No, don't do that either.
Again, because that's priming, and we've talked about priming before when we've talked about like EVPs and sounds. When you tell someone what to listen for, they're going to hear that. So if you play a noise, if I play like a clip of like ghost box bullshit and tell you, hey, you know, blue circles are fine. That's all right, John.
It's
without
the red
an H.
circle.
It's the
of
red
death,
circle.
Okay, that's the issue.
But if you tell someone, hey, I hear Rachel, I hear the name Rachel, and you play a sound, people are going to be listening for Rachel, and they're going to try and justify it, even if it doesn't sound like Rachel. Some people are going to say, well, yeah, that kind of sounds like it. It could be, maybe. So when you put the red circle around it, you're saying, hey, you're telling the person before they had a chance to look at the photo themselves, this is what you're looking at. This is what you're supposed to see. Especially when they hand you a picture and go, oh, look, do you see the little girl? I hate, oh my God. I hate
and then
that.
put it in the circle.
And then put it in the circle. You see the little girl in the red circle? Yeah.
If I'm looking for a little girl, I should be able to see a little girl in a picture. You
Right.
shouldn't have to circle it.
You should just hand me the picture and say, hey, what do you think of
see
this?
In this picture?
That's it. Like, what do you think of this? That's all you say, and let me look at it. And then we can review it and say, all right, well, you know, I can see this. I can see the light sources on this side. I can see the shadows here. I don't see anything abnormal here. I don't see anything at all. And then when you have to point it out, then we can talk about what might be going on here. Don't conclude that it's a ghost or Bigfoot or UFO if you have nothing, no supporting evidence other than I can't explain it. I really hate that. I hate when people say that, like, well, you know, I especially when they're not involved with photography, they don't know much more than, hey, I point it and I push this button right here, and they don't even know what the button's called. So
That's me.
but then they're like, hey, I looked at this and I couldn't figure it out, so it's a ghost. What else could it be? You know, that asshole. It could be a lot of things, you know. Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean it's automatically a ghost. And that goes back to stuff we've talked about previously, where if you don't know what the conclusion is, don't make that shit up. Don't make it up. Don't say, well, it's a ghost because I can't figure it out. That's a lazy person's way of doing it.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost. Don't pretend to be a photographer when you're not. When you're just a picture taker. See, like I would call myself a photographer, and I would call you a picture taker.
I'm a picture taker.
Yeah, because you mostly point and shoot, you know, and it's easy.
I might get a little bit into it, a little bit better, more than a point and shoot, but I try to understand how the camera works, and it's just not me.
It's a lot,
understand it.
Right?
Apertures and things and all that other stuff
impressed.
that goes on.
I'm really impressed.
What, that I even knew
that
apertures?
Term. Yeah. I mean, it's.
But
yeah.
it confuses me. Like, oh, put this at this setting and this at that setting, and I'm
like, the settings are backwards.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, my brain doesn't work like that. So it's a little too much work for me. Like, I can do numbers, like, not a problem. But when it comes to certain things like that, so I just play with the settings until I get the picture I want.
There you go.
I mean,
and sometimes, and that's still, I would say you're you're like on the verge. You're still a picture taker because you don't know what the settings are that you're changing. You're just changing it, and you're like, oh yeah, it looks
Let me
nice.
see
This
if
is
I
what I
like
like.
this. Yeah. Or if
So
I
it's
don't, then I
yeah.
go the other way with the button, you know?
Where
Like,
I look at a scene and I can say, well, you know what? I know what the f-stop's going to be. I know what my exposure time's going to be. I know what my ISO is going to be. I know what I have to set the camera at in order to get what I want.
yeah, and what you just said was blah 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 blah
blah,
blah
blah,
blah
blah,
blah
blah,
blah
blah,
blah.
blah.
Put your finger on the button and hold it down. Halfway to focus, all the way to take a picture.
Wow, look at that.
That's all I know.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Oh, bullshit, Susan. You know a little bit about cameras.
No, but maybe she's
I
like
don't
me,
know
like
most about cameras. I don't
Like-
know. No, she's a photographer. So I would think. I would hope.
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. But I know for me, I get into it.
She's like, no.
I get into it a lot. Just because I want to look at the specs, like when people take pictures, that's my thing, you know. Like,
Yeah, he pulls up that file first.
yeah, when
Let me
it's like
see what the
when we did the Amityville case last week, I was like, oh, I'm going after the Demon Boy picture. I'm definitely going to look at that because now I have time to really dig into it. When we did the Entity case, when we had the that guy on that was pissed off about my article and Ben Radford's article. But even when the Entity case came up, like I was going after the pictures, the Polaroids and the 35 millimeter prints. I was like, let me add them. Let me see what they have and what the settings were, what the camera was used, so I can get the camera. I mean, that was that was awesome. Yes, I was a professional portrait photographer, but I never changed anything on the camera. I worked with. Oh, okay.
So that makes sense. She
Okay,
only
yeah.
knew portraits.
Yeah.
She was a perfectionist at portraits.
So I mean, I like for me, I have a camera collection, a very large collection.
Yes, and it's going to stop growing really soon.
But it's so much
Someone's gonna
fun,
be moving out.
you know. And
It
when
ain't me.
like I have the opportunity, several opportunities this year to use some of my vintage cameras because, like with the Entity cases, some of the famous photos are Polaroids, and I was able to actually get Polaroid film and take Polaroid pictures for test subjects to compare. Use the 35 millimeter camera, which I haven't used in some time.
Yeah.
But I also got to use my Polaroid one steps, certain ones, because of religious photos that came out in the 80s and early 90s. And I was able to recreate photos from, I think I can show them to you. I might be able to show them to you because if I have them here, because I have I have a whole ton of Polaroids.
John, you know you're not supposed to shake the Polaroid.
You're not supposed to shake the Polaroid.
You're
Nope.
not supposed to do it. Even
It's
though
a
they
myth.
did it in all their commercials. You're not
So-
supposed to shake it.
This is what I'm proud of. And you guys are getting a sneak peek. So this is a Polaroid picture. No Photoshop, no special effects, nothing. And these kind of photos were popular in the late 80s, early 90s as the golden door. It was a doorway to heaven that people were getting with this. And I was able to recreate it. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun just doing that. But you'll get to read that in the next issue of Skeptical Inquirer, the print magazine, because the article is coming out in the next print magazine. So when it comes to, that's a good question, Bob. I don't develop my own film. No, I've never done it. I've watched tons of videos on how it's done, but I've never had the opportunity to develop my own film. And I would love to. I would love to be able to do that. And maybe I can explore that this coming year. Maybe get in, because there's a couple things I want to do. There's a couple old rolls of film. Some of the quite a few of the vintage cameras that I have. And we're talking like 1940s, 1950s Polaroid and Kodaks still have film in it. So it's a gamble. It's a big gamble whether they can be developed or not. And even the World's Fair camera that I bought,
Yeah.
the 64 World's Fair camera had film in it with 6 exposures taken. And I was like, oh wow, what could possibly be on this? It'd be great.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't try it on that. That's definitely going to be for the professionals, but I would love to develop my own film just to get a hang of it. To have that experience, that would be really, really cool. Not peeing during the break was a mistake. Yes, always pee during the break. That should be rule number 6. When the break comes up,
rules.
take advantage of it. Don't think you can. Don't think, yeah, I can make it. No, don't. All right, what else do I got here? Oh, when you're taking pictures, if you're at an event or like a ghost hunt or a public ghost hunt or what have you, and you're taking pictures, pay attention to your surroundings. Always pay attention to what you're photographing. Seriously, why are the worst comments shown on screen? Because we do that on purpose. When we have our meetings about the show, we talk about you and say, you know what? Anytime Tiffany puts up something that's really embarrassing, make sure it goes on screen. We want everyone to see.
And we don't, Tiffany. We do not do that.
We do every meeting.
No, we don't.
Yep, you're on the docket. We go down the list of topics, and it's like, oh, Tiffany. What did she say last week? Oh, yeah, let's go through that. That's awesome. Let's make sure. In fact, I think yesterday's meeting was about if she says anything about peeing, make sure it goes up on the screen. Pretty sure. I don't know. I remember that.
Oh my god. Sorry, Tiff.
All right, so moving on. So yeah, make sure you are aware of your surroundings. That's a good place when you're peeing too. I think that's tired. Oh
crap.
Oh, we love you, Tiffany. We love you.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Be aware of your surroundings, honestly, because there's so many times where people send me photographs and they're honest, they're sincere, but they're like, "Hey, I didn't see this at the time." And the short answer is, yeah, I agree. You most likely didn't because you were focused on one thing. If you were focused on anything at all. Again, we have the people that walk into a room and go click, don't even look at the screen or the viewfinder. If they do look at the viewfinder or the screen because they're using their phone, then they take a picture and they're like, oh yeah, let me get the room in, click, and then they walk out. It's an honest mistake, but they really need to learn from their mistakes and pay attention to what you're photographing, because if you're using the flash, which you should, then you have to pay attention to what is reflecting things. If there's glass in the room that's not a window looking outside, you have to pay attention to what that might reflect in the room. Like if you have display cases,
this room is going to reflect something.
Right?
This room is ridiculous.
We have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in this room that can reflect. I have, I have Mandalorian, which is all chrome. There's a lot of chrome up here.
The boxes, like the pops that
the
are
glossy,
in the plastic bag, the plastic covers, and you got picture frames right behind you. You got
there's
things that are in plastic
even this
boxes.
stuff.
Yeah,
so that you can see how it reflects. And it might seem trivial, it might seem like silly, but it can reflect weird things. And I know you guys have seen it where people zoom in to one little spot and they're like, look, right there, right below Inspector Gadget's face, there's another face looking at me. And it's
yourself.
It's a reflection. I can't tell you how many. Oh, no, that's actually good. I can't tell you how many people send me photos from museums or historical sites where they've taken pictures up at the glass and they get a reflection of themselves. And they're like, look, there's a hand in there. And it's like, yeah, dumbass, it's your fucking hand holding the camera. There's a lot of that going on. A lot of that. So pay attention to your surroundings. Is Donna claiming to be sober? She is. Well,
I am sober.
Are you?
I'm drinking my gallon of water.
Yeah.
Look, see, guys, look.
She drinks
it's
this.
water. It's not vodka.
It's vodka.
It isn't. Trust me.
Vodka.
I am sober tonight.
She is sober. I'm just funny. All right. I'm almost at the end of the list, which is good because we're almost at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm tired. We
surroundings.
still have to do the stuff in the box.
Oh yeah.
Your stuff is boring. Can we move on?
Wow.
No, I mean like
my stuff is no. There is no. Oh, I mean like no. There's no other interpretation
of
that.
We did like what's next on the list?
The only thing I had. Oh, make sure you take reference photos, like multiple views of each room. Don't just walk into one room, take a picture, and then walk out. Like usually when I go to a place, I go to every corner and I hold up the camera and get a wide view of the room, and I do that in every corner. And then I take a picture from the doorway, eye level, always at eye level because that's usually where people are looking, and that's what you see the most. But I also take it down low and up high, just different angles. Yeah, because you see more stuff. You know, like if I move the camera up, you see different stuff.
Yeah, look at all that stuff.
You see a lot of stuff. Look at that stuff.
Look at
There's
all that
Slimer.
reflecting.
There's Superman. There's an alien. That's an alien. That's a little
really
alien. I like him. He's cool.
Look
all right.
The orange border.
All right. Let's make sure Leia's in. There she is. All right. So that's it. That's it for photography. This is my little crash course photography, a little crash course of researching people and places, a little crash course on gadgets, because you only really did 2 gadgets, even though I have a shitload of stuff over here. I even brought out the old school tape recorder. Look at this thing. Everyone know what this is?
We used to record songs from the radio.
Look at this, a cassette with magnetic tape. That's right. I don't even know what's on here. Classic. Wait. Oh, class 1 computer. What?
Oh,
this ain't even my tape.
Oh, let's learn about class 1 computing. Does the battery do the batteries?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, we need batteries.
Oh.
Hold on.
No, it's not moving.
Oh.
You see that? It jumped out at me.
Spit out at you.
Obviously, it's a demon.
It's haunted. It goes in a museum. That's right, Mike. It's a museum piece.
No, it's not moving. It's not turning.
It was just moving.
No, it wasn't moving.
It was just making
a noise. Yeah, the head was on the tape, but it wasn't moving. All right, I'll have to switch the batteries out.
Uncle Albert.
I don't know who Uncle Albert is, but
Uncle
hey,
Albert
he is invited.
He's the spirit.
He's the ghost.
When a ghost shows up, they say it's called Uncle Albert.
All right, we're gonna say Uncle Albert.
I always called him George. George was my ghost.
That's what we called him here.
George. I knew he was a man.
George of the Jungle.
He's like a peeping Tom.
Also, you know what? When you look at ghost hunting equipment, I don't know if I showed this before. So somebody gave me this. This is a tribometer, which is pretty much, it's a fancy name for saying it detects static. If you have when you get a static charge, when you rub your feet, your socks on the floor, and then you go over the doorknob, you touch it, you get a shock. Or if we touch each other,
I shock them all the time.
So any kind of small electrical charge like that will light this thing up. These things light up here. So somebody gave me this. This is a overpriced novelty item. The maker of this is a guy I fucking hate. But I took this apart to see, because it looks pretty big. I mean, look, it's huge. So when I took this off, there was just lights in the top, which you'll see in a second. But all the guts, that's it. That's everything that was in it. And here's your light array right here. Let me turn that around. There's your LED lights. Your push button on and off is right there. And then this is the sensor right there. So it detects static. Wait, is that it? Yeah. Yeah. Detects a little static. That's it. It's a little hobby board. And I think this was going for like $180. And it's cheap fucking plastic that is 3D printed. It was cheap. It was very cheap. So basically, what you take from this is if you have ghost hunting gadgets that are out there specifically marketed towards ghost hunters, be mindful of what you're buying or what you're looking at, because you might get a hobby kit that is put in a very cheaply made 3D printed case, which is really 3D. It's really shitty. You have no idea how shitty this is.
It's really bad.
A couple of my friends that do 3D printing full time for different manufacturers said this is cheap as shit that they've ever seen, and they would never ever put this out as a product. So just be careful of that stuff. Feel free to send me like a email or direct message or whatever if you're thinking of buying something like that, and we can talk about it beforehand before you make your decision, because I don't want you wasting your money. No, Uncle Albert is Mary Poppins' uncle, the one that laughed until he floated.
Dude, that would be awesome. I would be laughing all the friggin' time.
You'd be gone. You would be gone.
Oh, I would float away.
You would have floated away years ago.
I'll be
There
gone.
she goes.
There
Floating like a balloon. And I'll be like, hey, look at that. It's a UFO. Let me take pictures. Click, 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 click. And I'll be on Entertainment Tonight with my video clip. Look, there's a floating woman just laughing away, floating into the atmosphere. Let's see. I'm getting out my Ouija board. We can talk about that too. Ouija boards. I have a bunch of them down in the basement, and I've played with all of them. They don't work.
I'm still, bye, Barry. I'm out of here.
Bye, Donna. Yeah, blew away.
Just blew out the door.
Oh, Uncle Albert. Woo! That should be our sponsor or mascot.
Uncle Albert.
Uncle Albert the ghost. Uncle Albert. Okay, so last chance. We are down. We got 7 minutes to go. Last chance for guesses.
Yeah,
put them in here.
I got a lot of guesses. So
you got a lot of guesses. Do you have them all written down? Can I look at them real quick?
You want me to read them out?
I'll go through them real quick because I can tell you. So this whole page is just guesses.
Well, where it starts.
Let's see. Faded balloon, lighter,
you have to read them
block,
all out.
ring. All right, well then you read them out because I can't read all you're writing.
That's exactly what I just said.
All right. So.
Susan is asking.
Oh, what's the challenge? So this is the remote viewing challenge that I run. Been doing it for years. So there's an object in this box, and it's usually locked, but I didn't lock it because I didn't tell anyone.
Oh, you didn't tell
so
me that.
She could have peeked, but she couldn't.
Oh.
But there's an object in this box, so you can hear it rolling around there. There's an object in this box, and if anyone wants to use their psychic or non-psychic skeptical powers to remote view and see what's inside. Also, just in case, because I know remote viewers are really picky about that, that's your target ID number. If you guess what it is, I will send you 4 puzzles. Could you hand me those puzzles right there on top? So I got puzzles from let me see. Here we go. We got puzzles, the Stardust series.
The Stardust collection.
So that's Lucy, the first I think not hybrid, but the first I got this wrong last time.
You did last week.
Solar system,
2 weeks ago.
dinosaurs, and then the fairies and unicorns puzzle. So this comes from Bailey Harris, who does the Stardust books. So if you can guess what's in the remote viewing box, I will send you all 4 of these puzzles because they sent me a boxes. They sent me boxes of each, which is really cool. I love them guys. They're
We
so
know,
cool.
Tiff. I asked him if he sent yours out. He said no.
I did not yet, Tiff.
It's going out. It'll go
it's
out
going out
on Monday because I have to send some stuff out too.
Yes.
So we'll make sure it's in that pile.
No, it is not a dildo.
Yeah, I'm glad
but
that
thanks for saying it. Thanks for picking that, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, are you guys done?
So go ahead. You can read off.
All right, these are some of the answers. I think I got most of them. So,
I hear you, John. I hear you.
A deflated balloon.
Okay.
We got 2 for lighters. One said lighter, one said zippy lighter.
Oh, Zippo. Nice.
A Jenga block.
Oh.
A ring. A 98 Toyota Corolla transmission manual.
That's pretty specific. Who wrote that? Like, how drunk are you that you came up with that? That's wow. Okay, keep going.
And then the same guy said cotton ball. So
okay.
A Matchbox Ecto 1 car. A Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
A Kenny Pod.
Oh, I do have a Kenny Pod.
Oh, look,
who knew about that?
It's not in the box now.
Nope.
He has it.
There's your Kenny Pod.
A block of wood in the shape of a letter H.
Wow.
An Oculus.
Oculus.
A
Okay.
brick.
A brick.
A spool of thread.
Hmm.
A bone from Fort Mifflin.
Oh.
Bob, I still have these in my yard. It's funny that you said that, but I still have them. A Santa Claus action figure.
Who?
A Godzilla. A bottle of rum. John's missing H in his name. A plain old block of wood. And no, we got the zippy later. So
is that all of them?
Unless some came in, I'm just gonna check.
So
because I've been reading. So let me go back a little bit.
We actually have a winner.
No way! Get
we
the
have
hell
a winner.
Out.
I'm impressed. We have a winner tonight.
Nuh-uh.
This is the first time in years,
All
like
right.
ever.
Get out of
We
town.
do.
Somebody won.
Somebody won.
No way.
Somebody won.
All right, guys. You guys are making history.
So hold on a
This is
second.
history.
I gotta ask. I'm gonna mute our mics.
Okay.
Turn the mics
Somebody
back
won,
on.
guys.
Somebody
Do you
won.
believe it?
So here
Like,
we
get
go.
the fuck out of here. That's what I'm saying, John Kennedy.
I'm gonna open this up.
Somebody won. You guys.
Somebody won. I'm impressed.
Hopefully, you're still watching.
So
you
here
are.
we go. Here we go. I can't believe it. Opening it up. Godzilla.
It's Godzilla.
It's a Godzilla that I put in there.
Melissa.
Melissa got it right.
Someone won. Like, how'd that shit work? How'd that shit work, Melissa? Did you just like throw that shit out there?
Oh my god.
Yeah, like how did you do that? Was that just a fucked up guess? Or were you really zoning in?
Oh my goodness. Now Tiffany's saying she won. That she told Melissa to say that. We were discussing possible action figures. That's good. That's good. This was a random thing. So I totally fucked myself. I gotta send out.
Well, wait, if Tiffany Tiffany really said it, then Tiffany just gets all of the puzzles.
Well, no, because Melissa said it. Melissa actually put it up there,
That's
so
what I had.
Melissa
I
has
had
to
it
win.
down as Melissa that wrote it. Is that correct?
She really did. Well, then it's up to Melissa, because if Melissa wants them, then she gets them.
Wait though, Melissa, wasn't it you that put the
Dun, 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 dun.
the initials before it?
Rawr.
Because if you put the initials before the guess, then you won.
Rawr. Oh, look, he's in the focus. Rawr. All right. So I think it's going to take take a couple minutes. Melissa said it. She said I got her guesses.
Okay.
Then Tiff can have my prize.
Well, the prize tonight is 4 boxes of puzzles. It's 4 puzzles,
it's 4
right?
puzzles. It's 4. It's a whole set.
You got the whole set. So
whole set.
Whoever wants the whole set,
right?
Let us know, because Tiff, you're getting at least one.
Yeah,
so...
fight to the death. Celebrity death match.
Yes. Because if you leave it up to me, I'm sending them all to Tiffany because it's easier. I'll put them all in one box. And then Tiffany, you can send it out to Melissa.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we finally got a winner.
We've been doing this for years. We've taken it to so many paranormal conferences.
Yeah.
And have gone through reading the little tags every time.
But it's good. I'm glad that they discussed it. Like she said that they discussed possible action figures. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm definitely getting a psychic vision that says Godzilla. Right. No. And it was that. It was like a last minute thing. I was like, oh, you know what? Somebody mentioned it last week. I haven't done it in a while, so maybe I'll do it. And I looked around. I was like, oh, I have like 6 Godzillas. I was like, oh, let me just grab one and put it in the box and see what happens. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Great. Oh, messages. I'm going to check my message.
You got messages?
Let me see. I got messages, but we're going to close out the show because it's over.
It's over.
It's over. So we got to do that. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, she posted. She sent me. What's an action figure that Kenny would own? Something heavy. Shit. With him, it could be anything. I think action figure is too general. Maybe guess Godzilla. Could be. That's our conversation. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So I'll talk to you. I talk to both of you after the show, and you can decide where I'm going to send these. So, all right. Let's get to Squid Bob's announcements. Because why not? Let's see. Where are they? There they are. All right. So what do I have coming up? Obviously tomorrow, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do another show with Tim Vickers and Dave Schumacher called 3 Tortured Souls. And tomorrow, I don't know what the topic is. I don't know. I don't know.
Is.
We do?
Oh, I can't believe you don't know.
What is it? Oh, Krampus.
Krampus.
Oh, we're supposed to do Krampus.
And I'm going to be up at my dad's, so hopefully I'll be listening.
I gotta
do your homework on this one, boy.
Homework on that. I can start out by saying the last movie was shit.
No, it was not.
All right, so next year, because we're done. And again, there's no show next week or the following week. So 2 weeks we're gonna have off. So you're gonna have to do without me for 2 weeks. Although I might pop in.
I think maybe we'll do like a show, maybe between
probably
Christmas
just jump
and
in.
New Year's.
Yeah, and do like a live show. Maybe not a Skeptical Help Bar, but more just like a live thing. Yeah,
kind of show.
Yeah, maybe I'll do like a general show where it's just like both of us. You can, make sure you're camera ready.
I'm camera ready. I had a bad day today.
Okay. All right. Well, that you're ready to be on there's no way to say this nicely.
No. Right.
So I'm just going to move on.
Let's move on.
And say, we'll just do a show where both of us are on camera.
Yeah.
And we can do a Q&A where people can ask you questions more.
I know exactly what you meant.
Love you back. All right.
New Year's ball drop show. Ooh.
That would be nice.
We
That
could
we
do
could
that.
We
But
could
I
probably.
I
I don't
love
know.
going out on the porch though and banging pots and pans. I don't want to be
That's
banging
so
pots
annoying.
on.
I hate that tradition. I really
No,
do.
he's such a bah humbug.
Oh my god.
My God, who didn't, as a little kid, grab a pot and a wooden spoon? Who didn't
I
do
did.
that?
I was an idiot standing on a
And you
porch
did
going
it.
clang, clang, clang. What's the point?
Yeah.
No,
Look,
I hate
Susan,
it.
I do it.
Oh,
Whose
I hate
balls
it.
are dropping?
All right.
Do it on
We'll do it on camera.
We could take it out on the porch.
We could have like we could have a fire. We can see if we can do a signal from the
From
if
the
we have a good
backyard?
signal from the camp. Yeah, the our fire pit, and then maybe we can set it up.
Why don't we just move the fire pit up to the front and do it from the porch?
We can probably do that. Yeah, we can do it outside. Yeah. All right.
Well,
We'll work on that.
We're gonna work on it.
Work on
See,
it.
we'll
All right.
we'll check the weather.
So next year, March 25th to 27th, possibly going to be at the Rochester Parafest, which I think is it used to be the Rochester Winter Parafest, but now it's just Parafest. I might be up there, Rochester, New York. July 23rd, we are both, me and Lucky Tiki Creations with Donna,
Yay!
are confirmed for the Para-Unity Expo, July 23rd. That's in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Drunk Empire. What could go wrong? I don't know. Hey, and we're dropping balls. Come on.
So many opportunities with that.
I know they're all over the place in the chat room.
All right. August 19th to 21st, we will be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
Yes.
Which is a awesome conference, and it benefits Pennsylvania wounded warriors and kids with cancer. So it's very, very good cause. It's a fun time. Like the conference is fun because like you get to talk to a lot of people. Donna will be set up there as well, I believe. Right? I think
at Gettysburg. Yeah, if you're listening, Pamela. I didn't get my thing in.
Oh, yet. She sent it to me. Yeah. We have to look through it.
Yeah, I just didn't send in the application yet. But yes, I will be there. Yeah, I'm always there.
We'll be there. I'll be set up, and I get to interact with a lot of people.
Melissa,
and then
you're close. Come up.
The parties.
Yes.
Parties. Because there's plural.
If anybody's planning on coming out, like reach out to us because we usually either go a few days before, maybe a few days after, sometimes a few days after, just to kind of chillax. So because it is crazy for us that weekend.
I think it's I think this is what 19, 20, 21.
It's usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
This is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We usually get there like Thursday.
Yeah,
and then
maybe stay
get
like
in,
Monday,
and then we stay till Monday so that we can recover from the entire weekend because it's so much fun. And then hopefully we'll see. We're not sure yet, but come October 2022, hopefully we'll be in Vegas for SciCon. I'm hoping, which is the big science conference by Skeptical Inquirer and CFI, CSI, and all them. And hopefully we'll be out there. So I hope. We'll see. And if you like what we do here, if you want to support us, there's always the Patreon that you can get into. There's 3 tiers. There's a basic tier where you can just, you know what, here's a couple dollars because I like what you do and help support the show and everything else we do. And then there's higher tiers where you get a little bit behind the scenes. You get some behind the scenes photos of, especially when I mess up experiments. I like to post pictures of my fuck ups because they're epic. But you also, like the highest tier, you get to pick a topic for a show, which is awesome. And you can actually join the show and talk about it. So if you're interested, no pressure, no big deal. Just something I like putting out there. And with that, I think we're caught up, right? What do we got here? Through dollar bills. Throw dollar bills. Kenny, you can throw dollar bills at me. John, oh, you have already done it. You better be at SciCon. We're trying. We're going to try. Well, we're going to see how it all works out. But definitely want to go out because I miss you guys. I miss everyone out there. And all right. That's it, right?
Yeah,
we're done?
I think so.
We're good? We're good? All right. Let me return back here and then cue up my exit video and just say,
hey guys, have a great holiday and just enjoy the people you're with, the people that are around you, and remember to tell them that you love them because you never know when will be the last time.
That's dark.
Sorry.
That's pretty dark.
You never know when it's
little depressing.
Sometimes
but
the holidays are a little depressing for some
it's
of us.
you know what,
it's
hard.
a hard time.
That's actually a good thing to bring up because it is hard. The holidays, all the holidays get together, and people will usually have this time as like, this is time for festivities and celebration and all that. But sometimes it's hard for people to come through. If you happen to be someone that's having a rough time, you can reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. There's services out there that you can reach out to, but if you want to, because we know each other, you feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Send a message, give us a call if you have our number, and we can chat. No problem at all.
Now,
yeah, I'm not big personally. I'm not big on the holidays. So it's just another day to me. But
shut up, John.
What? Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean that's our offer to you, and have a great. If you celebrate the holidays, enjoy them. If you don't, enjoy time off. I don't know. Do what you want to do. Remember December 23rd, Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus, yeah.
That's what I'll be celebrating. But yeah, we'll be off the next 2 weeks. We'll be back in the new year.
Maybe for New Year's, actually. I mean,
yeah, we might be. Yeah, we'll probably have something in between. Because I can't keep away.
If you guys aren't,
we'll be drunk.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be hanging out on the porch anyway. I make him stay up.
All right.
Even though he's old now.
Enjoy your weekend. Be good. Learn something, and just be nice to each other.
Yeah, just be kind.
Otherwise,
people being assholes with shopping and driving and shit. Just let the assholes just go. Don't let it stress you out.
Really, really dragging this ending on. All right, people.
Yeah,
have a great weekend. And remember, never stop learning. See you next week. Or no. See you next year.
Oh, right before the next year, Kenny. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right, I'm going to go.
Bye.
Bye.